Hey, what's up, guys? I know it's been a minute since I've made a proper video on this channel, but I wanted to share something that I've learned how to do. If you've been following along with some of my streams or some of my short content, you'll know that I've been trying to work on a tool that will help make my life as a content creator a little bit easier to essentially take my live streams and be able to convert them into smaller short form videos that I can post as shorts on YouTube. And one of the tasks that I needed to figure out was how do I transcribe the audio from my videos so that I can use that text for other purposes. Now, I know there's services like OpenAI's Whisper, but that costs money. I was looking at like 50 cents for a 1 or 2 hour stream, and so I wanted to try to see if I could figure out how to do this locally for free using my own compute and still make it feasible, right? And so I think I've come up with a pretty decent solution. And again, nothing I've done is really earth-shattering. It's basically playing with Legos. I'm taking some pieces of code and some libraries that other people, thank you so much, have put their time and effort into making available. And I'm just putting them together to solve this particular use case, which is being able to do transcription of audio locally. And so just going to walk you through that. I'm not actually going to write the code, but I just want to kind of show you what I've done. And before I jump into the actual code, let me just give a couple shout outs real quick. So the very first piece of software that I'm depending on for this is FFmpeg, and specifically I'm using a library called FFmpeg Core, which is basically just a nice .NET library that allows you to interact with FFmpeg through a really nice API. You still have to have FFmpeg installed on your machine and in your path for this to work, or installed somewhere on your machine, and you can just tell FFmpeg Core where that path, that location for that binary is. But in any event, I am depending on FFmpeg, and I'm depending on this really nice C# library that other people have written and put time into, and I'm just repurposing. The other piece of software I'm using or other library I'm using is something called InAudio, which is a really nice, sophisticated library in .NET to work with audio and to do a variety of things, probably 90% of which I know nothing about, but it came in handy when implementing this use case, and I'll explain that in the next tab. So the third piece of technology, and kind of I would say the underpinning piece of technology, is I mentioned OpenAI does have a service where they allow you to do basically audio to text using their Whisper model. However, OpenAI has also made Whisper available as an open source model, so you can run it locally. And I'm using a library called Whisper.net, which again just makes a very convenient way to be able to interact with the Whisper model from C# code. So those are the three kind of underpinning libraries that or the Lego pieces that I'm kind of putting together in my code to make this all work. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention when I get into the code here, I am going to be demoing this using a single file app. This is a new experience that's coming to .NET in .NET 10. So if you download and install the .NET 10 preview, you can go ahead and start experimenting with this functionality today. But basically what this allows you to do is basically have an entire C# application with just a single file. So you can do .NET Run, or even in the newer preview release of .NET 10, you can just say .NET and then app.cs. And so it makes for a really small, really nice, lightweight experience that almost mimics what you might be used to if you're familiar with working in something like Node or Dino or Bun, where you can just say node index.js. Now you can say .NET index.cs, right? And so that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the code really quick, and then we'll actually demo this in action. So again, basically what this is just a single file that you could kind of amalgamate to just a script file, but it's essentially a single file program that behind the scenes .NET is going to help take care of generating all the necessary things that I would need to actually run this as a proper .NET app, a proper .NET project. Only if you look at my file tree, you'll see it's very simple. It's just an index.cs file, a global.json file, so that I can tell my machine that, hey, I don't want to use the .NET 9 version that's installed. I want to use the newer .NET 10 preview release, which if you click into the global.json, you'll see that there. I actually made a video about this recently about how you can use multiple .NET SDKs on the same machine using this global.json file. It's pretty handy. And then I just have a test MP4 file, which is one of my YouTube videos. And I thought, this would be another cool use case where I could take videos that I make, transcribe their text, and sort of use that as a starting point for like a blog post, for example. So let's go ahead and dive into the code now, though. So you'll see I've got some package references here, and this is how you reference packages in this new single file app experience. I've also got a project property that I need to enable to make this functional and make this work. And this is how you basically, instead of having a csproj file where you define properties on your project, you can just do it inline here with this syntax. In any event, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the user ask them to pass me the path to a video file. So you can see I'm doing a couple checks here to make sure that, first of all, they've actually given me that path, and then second of all, that path actually exists, right? Because we don't want to try to load up a file that's not there. Now we're going to get down into the interesting bits of code here. So the first action I need to do is I basically need to just extract the audio from this MP4 file. Because in most cases, in most of my use cases, I am trying to transcribe a video, but this would work the same if you wanted to build this just to transcribe audio files as well, right? We could have some other switch here, some other argument or option that they pass in to tell it, oh, this is not a video, this is an audio file. So the first thing is I use ffmpeg to take that MP4 or that video file and then strip it and take the MP3. And again, all the heavy work here is being done by someone else's code mostly, and ffmpeg. Now the next thing I need to do is I actually need to convert that MP3 into a WAV format, and I actually need to convert it into a very specific sample rate of 16 kilohertz. The reason for this is that the Whisper models are trained on a very specific audio input, and so you need to get your audio into that same format for your inference to work properly. So that's the thing I'm doing next, is I'm taking that MP3 file that I stripped, and I'm actually converting it into that WAV format with the proper sample rate. Now, the other thing you have to know about the Whisper model is the Whisper model has a size limit for how big the audio input can be, which is 25 megabytes. Well, if you're working with 30-minute long videos or an hour-long video or 2-hour-long videos, you're going to need some way to chunk that audio up into smaller bits so that you can get below that 25 megabit limit, which is what I'm doing here. I'm basically saying, hey, how many 2-minute segments are in this input, this audio? Okay, now give me a segment for each one of those 2-minute chunks, right? So once I figure out the number of segments, I'm basically going to perform a loop over that audio and say, okay, give me a 2-minute segment, now give me the next 2-minute segment, now give me the next 2-minute segment, on and on and on. And so that's what this code is doing here. Again, we're using that really nice library in audio to help make this way more easy than if we were just to work with the streams directly. And so all we're doing is we're creating a new segment reader, which is coming from the in audio library to help us read that stream. Then we're grabbing our segment based on whatever loop or iteration we're on. So if we're on the first, or if we're on the 0th iteration, we're just going to grab the first 2 minutes. And then the next iteration, we're going to grab the 2 minutes to 4 minutes, and so on and so forth until the end of until we get to the last segment. Then once we get that segment, we're going to write it to a proper WAV file or WAV format into its own separate stream, essentially. We're going to reset the position of the stream, right? So that way we're always reading and processing from the beginning of the stream to the end of the stream. And then I have a little bit of code here to get the processor. And this is where that Whisper library comes in to help make interacting with that OpenAI Whisper model very succinct. I just call get processor, and get processor implements some code from that Whisper.net library, which basically allows us to go and download the specific model that we want. In this case, I'm just using the smallest version of the Whisper model. There's a couple different versions. The biggest trade-off is the smaller the model, the faster the inference, but also the more error prone the inference. And the inverse is true. So the larger the model, the slower the inference, but hopefully the more accurate the inference is. And so I'm just using their API to basically new up a new Whisper processor that will give me the ability to pass my audio to the Whisper model, run the inference, and then it return back the output. So if we jump back up here to my code where we just were, you can see I get the processor. And then I am calculating a duration offset. This is just purely for a visual perspective. Because I've chunked my audio up into these 2-minute segments, when I give those segments to Whisper, Whisper is always going to say, hey, this is from 0 to 2 minutes, right? It's going to give me these segments according to those timestamps, because to Whisper's knowledge, the audio is only 2 minutes long. Unbeknownst to Whisper, though, is that this 2 minutes comes from a larger audio file. And so what I'm doing here is I'm basically just calculating that offset and saying, hey, if this is the second iteration, then this really is from minute 4 to minute 6, right? And so when I print the results down here in my my async iterable loop here, I want to be able to say, hey, the start time is really the beginning plus whatever that offset is. And then all I'm doing is I'm just printing out the result here. So we'll see that timestamp print, and we'll see the text for each timestamp. And the way Whisper does transcription is it's going to look at just basically a chunk, right? It's going to look at kind of a segmentation of audio from that audio input and then transcribe the text. So it's not going to try to transcribe all the text of the entire thing all at once. It's going to do it in little bits and pieces. If you're familiar with working with OpenAI's Whisper service, they actually have the ability to do it per word, or basically by word or by segment. In this case, I'm just using the model to do it by segment. So let's go ahead and run this. I've done enough talking and explaining, so let me go ahead and demo this actually working. So again, I've got that single file app experience, so I can just say .net index.cs, and then I can pass it the file path to that test file that I have, and we'll give this a go. And so assuming everything works, it'll take a little bit of time because we're going to extract that audio, we're going to convert that audio, and then we're going to begin processing it. But once we start processing it, we should see timestamps start being printed out with a few words for the audio that was occurring during those two timestamps. Hopefully this won't take too long, so you guys don't have to, but here we go. So you can see it's printing out. You can see we're going from 0 to the 8 second, 8 second to 15 seconds, and so on and so forth. And it's just going to proceed to go from the beginning all the way to the end. Now, you could redirect this output to a file. You could have your C# program actually write this to a file, however you want to use this output. But now you have the text of that audio or the text of that video. And so maybe you use this to have an LLM help you write a blog post, or maybe you, in my case, like I'm doing, I'm having an LLM try to do basic sentiment analysis on it and say, hey, find segments of this that might make for engaging content all by itself, right? And so I think the really neat use case here is using your own local compute and using some .NET code, you can get local transcription going at a pretty good clip and make use of, I think, content that might have been in one format that you really wish you had in a text format, which is pretty cool. So again, I'm not trying to say I did anything earth-shattering. I didn't build the Whisper model. I didn't write FFmpeg, nor did I create an audio, but I'm taking these bits of software that other people have spent so much time and energy and putting them in what's about, I don't know, maybe 100 lines of code, 74-ish lines of code. And I'm solving a problem that I think 5-10 years ago almost would have been really, really impossible for a single individual to do. And now anybody can just use and have local transcription and use that for whatever use case they have. So, and maybe this sparks an idea for how maybe you can take some existing technologies out there, put them together in an interesting way to solve your own problem. So I'm learning just like you guys, and I'm just trying to share what I'm working on and what I find interesting and things I've learned lately. Obviously, if you think there's something better I could do here, a way to make this more succinct or even easier, I'm happy to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll link this code in the description if you're curious and want to poke at it and look at it yourself. Otherwise, drop a note in the comment. Love to say hi. Or drop a note in the comments. I'd love to say hi. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in another video, another stream, another short. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.